Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as I bring up Mary Jane Ugbaja, a.k.a. Ni Okezie.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. That was amazing, Ashiri. Thank you very much, Sako. Thank you, Mo, Oladapo. Thank you to all of you here today. My name is Mary Jane Ugbaja, as he has said. And it's such an honor to be here. I always wanted to speak since I was a child. I would see myself, and it will still happen, standing in the UN, addressing issues, standing before international platforms and just speaking. And so whenever I get the opportunity to speak, I am always very grateful. It's a dream come true. So please put your hands together for me. I'm living the dream, right? And I feel like I should introduce myself properly and maybe the things that I do so you can know who's standing before you. So I'm a filmmaker. I'm very creative. I'm very ambidextrous. I'm a speaker, a poet. I'm a writer of articles. I wrote a book called Much Ado About Social Media. And if you go on my page on Instagram, you'd find the link there. It's free. I love to give. I love to give a lot of freebies. I love to give gifts. So yes, I wrote it for free because I saw the danger that a lot of people, especially the young people, were facing. They didn't know how to navigate the internet and social media, and it's a big, big, big issue. It's a cause of depression and suicide, and just a lot going on with the younger folks. So it's very helpful. You can find it there. Also, I just released a film titled V-Cycle. Sako mentioned it. It was just premiered about 3 weeks ago now. And it's right there on the internet also for free. It's available. And it's very interesting. V-Cycle stands for Vicious Cycle. And what I did was to just depict the pattern of viciousness that occurs in the society from the home. I say that bad leadership is a byproduct of bad parenting or no parenting. And we see a lot of violence in the society, in the home, helms of leadership, in organizations, among friends, in schools. We see bullying, we see, and of course with the death of Osinachi, God rest her soul. I started getting tons of calls to say, MJ, you need to push this. So I released it. And so it's on my YouTube channel, Mary Jane Universal Studios. Please check it out. Okay, so that's my film production company. Another thing I do is coaching. I founded Tala. It's called the African Lady Ambassador. It's a coaching and mentoring. Hi. It's a coaching and mentoring enterprise for young ladies who are passionate, who are driven, who are very keen about fulfilling their purposes and basically living fulfilled lives. And also, the last thing I do would be work in management consulting. I'm the head of corporate services. I don't necessarily work 9 to 5. Sometimes I'm in the office around 11, and I totally relate with Ashiri. It's very interesting. Whenever there is a conference like this, where you have a lot of speakers, one thing that I notice, and I keep telling the audience if I am opportune to be the MC at that event, is they should connect the dots between all the speakers. If you listen very well, not just hear, but listen very well, you would find that we are all saying the same thing. Everyone is saying the same thing. And today I was going to tell you also about systems and talent. Systems will always rule over talents. And that's what he was saying when he gave the 3 steps. Some of you work, some of you build on your personality, and some of you, what he was talking about was systems. So when you move from being a talent to, what is the difference between, a record label and the artist, who's bigger? Who's bigger, a record label or the artist? Someone said artist. A record label or the artist, who's bigger? It's a record label. It's the record label. It's the record label. It cannot be the artist. It's a record label. The film production company and the actress or the actors, who's bigger? Say that again. You're not even certain. It's the film production company. And that's what he was speaking about, with the place where you move, and that's when you discover, that's when you know you've stepped into purpose, when it's not about work anymore. It's something about, it's bigger. He was calling it grander vision. It's bigger. It's bigger. Okay, so systems will always rule over talent. But that's not what I am here to speak about. Let me just go on. My daughter is here, Munachi. I brought her to see what work is about because she's turning 10 this year. And she said to me, Mommy, I'm turning 10. I would have lived for a decade. I'm like, yes, yes. So I said, you live for a decade. And she's so interested in money. I don't know, this girl is so interested, not just money, foreign currency. You know, if she's talking, she's very talented, by the way. If she's talking, she would say things like, dollars. You know, when you're negotiating Naira, she would say, no, dollars. You know, she's always dollars. So I had to bring, if I was on our way here today, she was telling me, why doesn't money just rain from heaven? God knows that everybody will be happy if there's money. If it's poor, I'm like, yes, no, it can't happen like that, my darling, no. She said, but everybody will be happy, and God wants to make everybody happy. No. You must work for money. So let her come see. This is what mommy does sometimes. When you speak, you get rewarded for your work, right? You get paid for your work. You provide value and you get paid for it. Okay, so quickly, my title is Relevance in the Face of Purpose. Finding relevance in the face of purpose. And there's been much ado about relevance here today. But as a teacher, as a coach, what I do is I go back to the definition of terms. And I think maybe as a historian also, because I studied history. So what is relevance? When you talk about relevance, what is the concept of relevance? So if you check the root word, the etymology of the word relevance, it means relieve. It was gotten from the word relieve. Relieve meaning to aid, to lighten, to assist, to help. It is not a standalone concept. It is a concept that is connected to another concept. So if you're aiding, you can't aid until you're aiding something. If you're relieving something or someone, right? So it's a very relational concept. So it's a concept that is used in connectivity to another concept that makes this concept important. I'll say it again. So relevance is a concept that is used in relation or in connectivity or in direct comparison to another concept in a way that makes this concept useful or important. That's what relevance is. So when you say, I want to be relevant, or when you say, I want to feel relevant, what you're saying, no, my question would be, what are you benchmarking your relevance against? What are you benchmarking it against? Because that is the meaning of relevance. It's interesting, though, that social relevance, because you have relevance in physics and so on, but socially, social relevance has been limited to a benchmark, to a comparison with someone else. So when you say, oh, I want to be relevant, there's someone that more often than not is a benchmark. If I ask you right now, are you relevant? Do you feel like you're relevant? Do you feel so? If I ask a lot of people, as I do, more often than not is a negative answer. So what you say is that I'm not important. Irrelevance is also not important. You are unable to provide a solution. Because relevance, if you're aiding, if you are helping, if you are assisting in a way that makes you important, it means that you are providing a solution. So relevance borders, in the end, borders around solutions. That's what it is. What is purpose? Purpose is the reason the reason why something exists, the reason for something. The purpose of a thing is the reason for that thing, for the existence of that thing. Everything has a purpose. The chair has a purpose. It's a function of the chair. This is serving purpose. Inanimate and animate things were created to serve purpose. So purpose is the reason for which you exist. Is the reason why we exist. Is the reason why we are here. So everyone here was created for a purpose. And the sooner you realize your purpose, because I was watching him and I was listening to him very carefully. And when he was talking about the woman and the conversation you were having in the car, and he said to that person, no, she just needed my presence. I said, okay, he knows his purpose. He knows his purpose. I said, that's it. Sometimes you have conversations with certain people and you sound arrogant. I'm sure. It's just this knowing, because you have stepped into a place of conviction. It's what Jesus had. Jesus sounded arrogant. That's why they hated him. Why do you think they hated him? The Pharisees hated him. He sounded so arrogant sometimes, even though he wanted to keep it humble. He couldn't. What happens when you know yourself, when you know your place? We're growing. We're growing in the conversation. So this is the reason. It's very important that I say that all living things were created for contribution and for growth. For growth and for contribution. In fact, there's an argument that dead things actually even contribute. Dead things. Some people say, oh, manure, the wood, the rod that is by itself is useful for something. Everything was created for growth and for contribution. When the mango seed is put in the ground, the primary purpose, the ambition of that mango seed is to grow to becoming a full-fledged mango tree that will serve different purposes, whether as a shade, whether to bring forth fruit. Everything alive was created for growth and to contribute. The desire of a mango tree cannot be to become an oak tree or to become something else. This is why it is a very dangerous thing to benchmark your relevance against someone else. And it doesn't matter if the person is a role model or a mentor or whatever. Because when you do so, it's dangerous. You place a cap on your potential. It means that as high as this person goes is the highest that you can go. You did that to yourself. You place a cap literally on your potential. So you can look to someone as a role model. You admire this person. You see what this person is doing. You take as wisdom maps, but never as your benchmark for relevance. So the big question you should ask yourself is, if relevance means contribution, and if purpose means the reason why you exist, relevance means solution, purpose means the reason for your existence, your question should be, what solution am I here to provide? That's a great place to start. What solution am I here to provide? So this question is what is popularly known as the big why. Why am I here? What's the reason for my existence? But I said, look at it through the eyes of problem solving. I'll tell you, the big why for every single person is people. People are nature's priority. People are God's priority. The more lives you touch, the more money you are allowed to make and keep. Every successful, every lasting organization, name it, including Coca-Cola, that people drink and have diabetes. Every successful big corporation that is lasted, he mentioned Microsoft, have a vision that is helping humanity. the more lives you touch, the more impact you make, the more problems you solve, the more money you are allowed to make and keep. Why? Because people are nature's priority. The universe responds to it. It's a principle. It's a principle. If you provide value, then you attract wealth. People pay for value. Whether it's, people show up, and he was talking about his presence. People show up. They make an appearance, and they get paid for that appearance. They get paid for that appearance. I just had a conversation with my husband, I think 2 days ago. 2 days ago, because he got back yesterday. He was out of town, and then we're having a conversation on the phone, and he was telling me about this certain pastor in Abuja during one of the president's tenure, and how the man one of the presidents who used to dole away cash very easily. He was a giver, even if it's of national treasury. But he told me about this pastor who had just finished some sort of ministration, private ministration at Aso Rock. And he was driving out, and he was handed an envelope from the presidency. And it was on his way, he opened the envelope up, and it was 2 billion naira. 2 billion, not million, 2 billion naira. And he was afraid. He said, what? What? And he drove back to Aso Rock, and he returned the money to the president. And I said, that sounds like a very altruistic and beautiful and moral thing to do, but I wouldn't do that. Except by instruction. Did he have an instruction to return it? I said, that man does not know his value. He felt that was bigger than him. Meanwhile, someone has brought you into this place and said, you are delivering value just by your stepping into this place, by your anointing, by this. Do you know what we're battling with every time all these Muslim people are coming to do? But the man believes that about you, and he's trying to bless you somehow, some way. And you say, no, I don't know. He has not worked on himself enough, sir. He has not invested that much in himself. That's what it is. That's what it is. We'll get to investments. So how do you find purpose? Sometimes, honestly, it will take some dilly-dallying. It'll take you messing up. It'll take you getting into spaces. I knew I wanted to speak. I knew that I could teach younger people. I started mentoring since I was 21. I had teenagers who were my babies who, till date, they're married in the early 30s, and they're still calling me, oh, Mama MJ. So it had started a long time ago, but how to convert it, I really did not know. So I was here and there. I remember also, I can share the story of when I started with Sacco, and I said, oh, since I like talking, MC must be the thing to do. And Sacco will always encourage you. We never discourage you. But I know that many times I fooled myself on stage. Many times. It was part of the process. The reason I stand here today confidently, dishing out the things that I'm dishing out, is because I stepped into purpose. And how did I do that? I will give you just 3 things. And these 3 things are actually wrapped into everything everyone has been saying. Like I said, if you listen very carefully, you connect the dots between all the speakers. Because everybody's going to be saying one and the same thing. This I know. Success leaves clues. Before I quickly tell you about the things I want to say, one of the things that I'm doing in the management consulting firm that I work with is project management. I told you I had the corporate services unit as well. And one of the projects that we're doing is for a very big organization. They just launched last year, December. It was all over the media. They just launched a school of leadership and entrepreneurial studies. And my project is to develop a curriculum, a very unique curriculum, right? Not a copycat, but very unique curriculum. Hello, I see. A very unique curriculum and on business and leadership and all of that. And one of the ways we do that, or I do that, is that the faculty members are top guys. Top guys. The owner of Pelon, top guys in management, just across fields. And I would book an appointment with them and I sit down there, go with cameras and interview them. That turns into syllabus, submodels, blah, blah, blah. And we distill it like that and make it really, really very unique and beautiful. And when I sit down with all of them, they all say the same thing. Across board. When I mean across board, top guys in HR, top guys in medicine, top guys in consulting, top guys in health, in different things, across different fields, they all say the same thing. The same thing. And then I said, this is the meaning of success leaves clues. Every successful person, it's the same secret. Same thing. We'll say it in different ways. Different ways, but the same thing. We'll bring our individuality to the fore. You listen to us, you stay here all day. It's the same thing. So I was saying, how do you find purpose? Number one, engage in personal development. Grow yourself. Mentor. Find a mentor. Who's a mentor? Oh, that's another point. Engage in personal development. Like I said, just grow yourself. Grow yourself. I was telling you, read books. Watch. I'm an addict of personal development. If one day, my daughter's here, if one day goes by when I'm not learning something, I can't go to, I feel empty. There's a problem. I've not fed my soul. Because that's what it means to feed your soul. Well, sometimes it's also feeding your spirit. If I engage in spiritual development, read books, watch Christian leaders, read my Bible, that's me engaging with my spirit man and feeding it, right? But my soul, the soul of a person is what rules the person, not the body. Your body is wicked. Your body will grow with or without your permission. You'll grow old. Your soul needs your permission to grow. So you can see a 50-year-old man, 50-year-old body, 20 years old soul. Because your soul needs you need to deliberately, intentionally feed the health of your soul. Okay? Grow. Commit to development. I hear people brag. I don't like to read books. And it's okay not to read, hardcover books right now. And that's why God is amazing and the world has to grow in the way it is so that the chaos won't be much. Internet had to come to play. Books are online. You can read audio versions. Do you know what I discovered is when I see a book, sir, if you speak a lot, let me give you a trick. If you speak a lot and you have a lot of videos online, everything that you say in that book, I'll find online. I'm telling you the truth. Is what I have known. There are some books that I read just by following the person and going all the interviews. I'm telling you, because sometimes really you don't have time to finish that book. But we like to listen. I'm driving and I'm listening. Right? You're working. I'm cooking sometimes and I'm listening. She knows I have Bluetooth speaker in the kitchen. I shut the door, everybody. And I'm listening. Do you see? You will find what you're looking for. The only reason you will not find it is because you didn't seek it. But if you seek, you will find. If you knock, those doors will open to you. Now, personal development, that's what it is. What personal development will help you to do also is to craft a compelling vision for your life. A vision that is unique to you. A vision. Because when you engage in personal development, think on the purpose map, the first ladder of the purpose map is self-discovery, self-awareness, the ability to know yourself. When you know yourself, you begin to know your value proposition in the world. Do you see? You must engage with yourself first. Because the principles of success is inward before outward. Inward, then you come out. Inward, then you come out. You must grow inside. You must take roots downwards in order to shoot upwards. And it depends on how far you want to go. If you want to go really far, then you must dig deep. If you want to build a skyscraper, you pay attention to the foundation. You spend time there. Do you see? So, Self-discovery, self-awareness. Who am I? Down to your temperament. Who am I? Others, read about people. Because if you want to succeed, you must be in the business of people. Emotional intelligence is very key. So you work on yourself, okay? And then I said it will help you craft a vision for your life, which is what you need. You can't ride on another man's vision, except you don't want to live a fulfilled life. And I believe that the longing of every soul, every person is fulfillment. Money doesn't give it. Fulfillment. That's why some people make a lot of money. And you know, I do therapy. And I'm not even bragging, I hear this. Just till this week. And then I'll have another client. And it's not it's the same, if the name is popular in Lagos. They are a Lagos big name household. You know, her father is Kabiesi. She's not young. She's just not fulfilled. Not happy. I feel like I'm empty. I feel like I'm not contributing. I feel like, because that's what you were created for. Contribution. Growth, contribution. Okay? Another thing is mentoring, and they talked a lot about it. Mentoring. Find a mentor, and don't do it in a funny way. I don't understand it when I hear this entitlement. Listen, the best way to get mentored is through service. I'm telling you. It's by serving. It's by serving. It's by carrying bag. It's a hand-holding system. Because when you are serving, you are learning. You are growing capacity. You are building. A mentor helps you collapse time. So you see that rigmarole you'd have done to get to the point where you want to go, you shorten the journey. That's what a mentor can help you do. I didn't really start out early. I didn't have a guide. As early as I wanted to, as early as I prayed to have, I had a clear goal about where I went. I remember when I was turning 30, I cried. Yeah, because I was like, what's going on here? When I was turning 35, I cried. And I don't look 35 right now. Oh, until my daughter is here now. So I get that a lot. I cried. I really did cry. I didn't have a mentor for a long time. I really didn't know. Now, at 35 already, I had a mentor. But of course, I had to start where I would have started in my early 20s, perhaps as a teenager. I just didn't have I was raised up in a very shielded way. My dad was very strict upbringing, too strict. And we were, our lives were kind of like guided in the path that my dad wanted, even up to marriage. That's the only part where I said, no, you cannot choose my husband for me. But it was years of fighting and saying, I disown you. How can you turn down the son of, all those drama. But for some time, I didn't know how to come out of that place. I didn't know how to fly. I didn't know how to walk up to people. I didn't know how to. And another thing that I hear from people is that, we walk up to so person and it's difficult. We wrote to this person and maybe that person is not supposed to be your mentor. I think mentoring is something you should take seriously. You should pray seriously about. If you pray, you will get answers. If you pray, if you ask, why? What is it doing to God not to answer you or show you who your mentor is? Really? Is he petty? If you ask, if you seek, you'll find. If you knock, the door will be open. I think some people think that Jesus was talking about food. When you ask, Lord, help me, that Mercedes Benz, material things. So this was talking about. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. So get a mentor. Volunteer. I told you, service. Service will get you everywhere. I know this. Because this is how my journey got shortened. That I decided to serve. I said, I'll come under you. I looked at some of my friends, my own friends. My journey was humbling. My own friends, people like Sako. Yeah, my own friends that I said, these people are flying. What's going on here? And I really started praying about it. Until I started hearing it in my ear. Speak to this person. And I'll go literally and say, I want to serve. I want to help. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it's collapsing time. Let me tell you something. I started working in a management consulting firm, right? It's a friend of mine from way back in Lag. And I really want he's rich. He's not in Nigeria. His family is not here. He's really rich. He's really rich, like private flying ownership. Private, not ownership, but, he's really rich. And I said to him one time, I said, I want to serve. I want to serve you. And he said, what, MJ? You? No, MJ. What is such an honor? This such an honor. I said, you have to allow me serve. You have to allow me serve. And then he brought me in. I said, I'm managing a project where I speak with CEOs. I probably wouldn't have had that if not that I'm serving with him. And for everyone who sees me, because I'm such a conversationalist, I'm not even doing a great job. When I sit with you and have a conversation, a one-on-one, I kill it. It's a gift. Don't worry, I know. It's not pride. I know it's a gift. I've not seen it in too many places. I've seen Oprah. Oprah has that gift. That's why she has called out to me a long time ago. Oprah, we have it. Now we sit down with you and you will spill. People don't understand how Oprah does it. That you will spill. You will talk. So you see the CEOs, I sit down with Palon. I sat down with her. The camera stopped rolling and started telling me family secrets, family deep, family stuff. I sat down in her office. She's not the first person, not the second person, not the third person, not the fourth person, not the fifth person. I'm telling you. It's what happens. It's what happens. I sit down. I have amazing conversations. Amazing. I'm a conversationalist. It's what it is. It's a gift. She even asked me, she said, gosh, you said you're a conversationalist. Do you learn this somewhere? I said, I don't learn it too. I think it's a gift. She said, I think it's a gift too. It has to be a gift. Yeah. So I sit down with this woman. How did I even get to this point? I sit down with this woman, but what I'm saying, how I got here is, I wouldn't have had that relationship. I wouldn't have had that access to these people. Now I have crazy contacts. Now, as people say, oh, you do MC because I dropped my card. Oh, you do this, I dropped my card with them. I exchanged numbers with them. I sent them happy Easter messages and they responded back to me. It is because of service. It's service. It gave me access. Service has built my competence because things that I didn't know before, I know them now because I chose to serve. Okay, so volunteer. It's great. Train. I was telling you. Train. If I come down from here, someone might reach me outside and say, where did you learn to speak like that? Well, even though I've been speaking like this for a very long time. But still, I had to build a stage presence. I'm a poet. I'm an actress. I do theater. I do all of that. Right? So I have to deliberately, I listen to Maya. Say, how does Maya, she fascinates me. Maya Angelou, the way she recites her poem. And I'll take my poem because I have great poems. I probably recite one or two for you today. Amazing poems. And then I recite them. Like, I learn. You've got to train yourself. Train. Now you have access to the online community. Train, pay for courses. And let me tell you, if you pay Akara money for a course, you will get Akara training. The quality of training you receive will actually determine the quality of people that reach you. It shows. It shows. It really does show. It shows. When you open your mouth, Les Brown says you tell the world who you are. So please train, okay? Ask God. Ask God. Okay. Your purpose must be tied to your authenticity, individuality. And what makes you an individual? What makes you different from you? What makes you... So when Sako says, oh, that this is a $250 billion industry, I think is more. I think nobody can quantify it, right? But let's follow statistics. But when he says that, and he says that there's space for everyone, what makes you different from you? What makes a person different from another? What makes you an individual? It's threefold. Number one, your philosophy. Your philosophy is your belief system. What you believe. Maybe spiritual. What guides you? I'm a Christian, right? It's your belief system about life, about things, about people in general. Just your general belief system. The next one is your mindset. Because we can have the same belief system, but our perspective Our mindsets are different. We can be reading the same Bible and interpreting it differently. Do you understand? That's what differentiates you. But the third one is your level of competence. Because you have the same philosophy, have the same perspective, but your competence is going to distinguish you. It's going to separate you. You must grow your competence, your skill, your efficiency level. How well can you deliver what you want to deliver in the next few minutes? How? If it is your proficiency with, look at him, he was saying, Emo was talking about using PowerPoint. And then someone told him about CorelDRAW, and CorelDRAW was like, juju. And he said, okay, you must learn this. You must learn. You must seek to grow. If you cannot invest in yourself, you cannot invest in your growth. I told you, your soul will not grow without your permission. Your body is wicked, it will grow old. But your soul needs your permission to grow. What is your soul? Your soul is your intellect and your emotions. So when the Bible says you prosper as your soul prospers, you prosper as your intellect and your emotions prosper. How does your emotion grow? Relational growth is what I was telling you. Emotional intelligence. How you relate with people is emotional, right? You develop that aspect of you. But then your competence, how do you grow your competence? How do you grow your competence? Everybody has access to information. Sacco always says it, that knowledge is useless until it's applied. Right? Knowledge is data. By the way, everyone is intelligent. There's no such thing as a dull person. Every single person has a measure, a degree of intelligence that must be used. Every single person. If you look at the parable of the talents, 3 of them. 5 talents to one, 3 talents to the other, and 1 talent to another person according to his capacity. That's what the Bible says. And that person that had 1 talent, God knew that that person will not grow it, but still, because of his generosity, he gave that person. Everybody is intelligent. Whether you have spatial intelligence, whether you have intelligence with dogs, animals, or you have intelligence with music, everybody is intelligent. But there is knowledge. Knowledge is data, information that you can go online and you can read, but you cannot stop at knowledge. Let me ask a question. What causes flood? What's one of the causes of flood? Primary causes of flood, of flooding. Just raise your hand quickly. Say that again. Waste disposal. Is that what you said? And how does it cause flood? So it blocks the drainage, right? It blocks the drainage. So everybody knows that here. Do you throw pure water sachet on the road? What has that knowledge done for you? What's that knowledge? Like, what's the worth of the knowledge? That's just data. It's not applied. Understanding is another thing. Understanding is your ability to interpret the data that you've gotten. Understanding is gotten from the Latin word for standen. For standen means understanding, to come under a concept. Another one means to stand in between a concept, to stand among a concept. Another one means to separate yourself from the concept. With the view of dissecting it, you pieces it, you ask the why, you ask the how of that concept. What, why, how? You dissect the concept. You interpret and then you discern. You come to a conclusion about that concept. That's understanding. You've gained understanding as to why it has settled in your soul. But then there is the wisdom. Wisdom is that you can now apply this discernment, apply good judgment to what you have understood about the data you have collected. Now you can apply it appropriately. When you engage this, you will grow faster than your contemporaries. If you can take information, you break down that information and you begin to apply it to your life. The sooner you do that, the faster you rise. A mindset, quickly, I'll just say that I think that is very disturbing. And Asako has hammered on it a lot. He says that a lot. He talked about hustle. It's a mindset that says that your primary purpose of work is to make money, is to put food on your table. That's why you're working. The primary purpose of work cannot be daily bread. It should not be daily bread, though. It's a problem. You would only go as far. And that's even what leads into depression. He was talking here about immediate gratification. We'll all say the same thing. That's what causes problems. Hustle. That's what causes hustle, sir. That's that hustle. The primary purpose of work must be impact. Your primary purpose of work must be solution. That's what you've been. See, I'm taking you back to the reason, your why. So your why for being an entertainer, the why for being a singer, the why for being an actress, the why for being a speaker, the why for being whatever you are doing is to contribute, is to impact, is to provide value. Money will chase value. I'm saying this, I'm not doing motivational speaking. This is the story of my life. I was MCing with Sako. I will make plenty blood. I'll come with my pretty face. And I'll go on feeling stupid. I'm like, Lord, no, I'm beauty and brains now. What's going on here? Until I found my purpose. The next time, in fact, I withdrew from him for a bit. I said, I can't keep doing this. I'm not in the habit of fooling myself. I don't know what I'm doing here. In fact, because I stayed with him so much, sometimes when I'll look at him and say, okay, how is he doing it? And then I want to crack a joke. Am I a comedian? What's wrong with you, Mary Jane? What's wrong with you? I'm serious. I want to crack some. Yeah. I was literally fooling myself. Sir, I was. Yes. Until I took myself back. The next time he saw me and I showed up with him, I was different. Ask him. I was different. I had found something. I had found a reason for my voice. Sometimes. I had found a reason for my voice. It was my voice that was calling. My voice is amplified to the nations of the earth. Yes, that's what it is. People want to hear the sound of my voice. That's why I have the gift of speaking. That's why I've been called to do poetry. That's why I can do MC. That's why I'm a conversationalist. But if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse happens. So I'm taking you back to your why. You must know why you are doing what you are doing. Must. And I told you how. Engage in personal development. All-round personal development. Build yourself. Nurture yourself. If you love yourself, you nurture yourself. If you love yourself, you will grow yourself. Erase the mindset that you are working first primarily because of money. No. It's dangerous. People have done this. That's what the Bible says. The love of money is the root of all evils. Some haven't chased after it. They have wandered from the faith. They've pierced themselves through with many sorrows. That's what the Bible says. And I'm not trying to preach as a preacher. I'm just saying, this is what we know. It will get you into trouble. When you seek first the kingdom, and what the kingdom is about is contribution. Multiplicity means you're multiplying your talents on the earth. When God gave Adam and Eve the command to say, go into the world and multiply and bear fruits and have dominion, that's what it was. It's multiplicity of talents, multiplicity of creating legacy, impact, solution. When he wiped out the earth again and Noah was saved in the ark, do you know when Noah came down from the ark, the first thing he said to Noah was, go into the world, be fruitful, multiply. It's the same thing. It's impact. Impact. And I say this just so that you can begin to chase what is needful and live a fulfilled and abundant life that Jesus died for. Thank you very much.